All good? Okay, ready to start? Great, excellent. Welcome to the first grassy knoll. It's exciting. Been in Paris now for 48 hours, and in that 48 hours has been very busy here in the Athletes Village setting up the Australian Olympic team allotment. A lot of work has happened in the past, not just few days, but past few weeks. We've had 9 containers of uniforms being unpacked, 5 containers of general things that we are unpacking into the village as well. As we speak, 400 beds of the 484 allotted into the Australian Olympic team buildings has been prepared. 600 bags are currently being taken in with uniforms, with a few more to go in obviously in the next few days. I believe that, well, I'm not biased, but I think the Australian allotment is the prettiest building and most decorated building of all of them within the village. We've got some really great decals from Uluru on our windows to the Great Barrier Reef to the boxing kangaroo, and of course we have our Australian flag, our Indigenous flag and Torres Strait Islander flag as well. So we are one that cannot be missed on the street that we are occupying, and services have actually been really good. A few minor hiccups along the way in the last 48 hours, but Paris 2024 have been very quick to act and make resolutions and find resolutions to those problems, which has been really positive and really enjoyable to work with them as well. So going from bump in to obviously when we're expecting our first athletes in 2 days' time on the 18th, we're expecting both our hockey roos and kookaburras to come in, our men's rugby team and our paddle team also out at Meares as well. So we're going to start seeing numbers rise significantly. At the moment there's 382 people sleeping in the village from 59 NOCs in preparation for those athletes arriving and the village opening on the 18th. So it is quite a busy period of time at the moment. We were made aware this early hours of this morning of a security attack or an attack on an army officer at one of the train stations, and we've been receiving information further around that. As at the moment, information allows us to be able to go ahead as per normal, no changes in our plans or preparations, even though security takes a high priority, and we knew that these sorts of things can potentially happen. We also have some really exciting news with Jess Fox has been announced as a torch bearer. This Friday she will carry the torch at the rowing and paddle venues as well, so that's really positive and quite reflective of not just her French heritage but of the Olympic champion status that she holds in her sport for Australia. It'll be exciting to see her do that on Friday. We've also got some good news with Josh Azzopardi in our athletics team receiving a quota to run in the 100 metres as well as an individual. We know that he was on the team for relays, so it'll be the first time in 24 years that we will have 2 men represent Australia in the 100 metre sprint, which is very, very exciting. And I know that there have been some injury concerns for athletes both within the Matildas and with De Minaur. We're waiting to hear information from Alex De Minaur from Friday, but expecting some information to come through on Friday after a check-up as to how he's going, and we haven't yet had any further information on the Matildas. So at the moment, that's a bit of an update on where things are at, and if anyone has any questions, please ask.
And just on the security issue, obviously you've got all the athletes in here when they're competing, but many of them will be leaving pretty soon after. How concerned are you about their safety and security and behaviour in those days once they leave the village, but they're still in Paris, potentially wearing Australian flags or Australian uniforms?
Well, in terms of being inside the bubble for the athletes, it's probably the safest place that they can be, between the village, the venues and on the transportation as well. It's when they have the opportunity to go outside that we're asking everyone to be vigilant, like you would in any major city, but obviously with the heightened sensitivities around the Olympic Games and the threats there. So there's lots of things that they can do for their own safety, and that advice is obviously being passed on.
Will you advise them not to wear Australian kit?
At the moment, if they go outside and just on casual circumstances, it's in casual clothes, yes.
What about the issue of the Seine and the speed of the river at the moment? Is there any concerns from our marathon swimmers and triathletes about that?
Not at the moment. We know that the water flow has been high and fast in the last period, but the quality of the water is actually rising as well. So that's actually really positive for the athletes wanting to compete in those events, particularly for triathlon and open water swimming. So, it adds an element to it certainly, and a challenge for the athletes, and I think that's probably a good thing.
With the security update, who was giving you that briefing? Was it from the Paris 2024 or our own security people?
A mix of each, yeah. This morning we were informed by our own security liaison officer, and that was supported by Paris Organising Committee this morning. I attended my first Chef de Mission seminar this morning, and we will actually have a full security briefing at the next one on the 20th.
Would you go for a swim in the Seine?
Would I? Me and water, we don't. I'm a bit bottom heavy for water, and I tend to like being in water where I can touch the bottom and see the bottom. So unless it's a swimming pool, I don't tend to get in water too often. But you know, if I would be happy to get in for sure. Yeah.
Hold for 30 seconds.
It looks so lovely when they're lit up and that. It looks beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for looking after that side of things for me.
Can we ask you that one again about whether you go for a swim?
Would you go for a swim in the Seine?
Well, I tend to be a bit bottom heavy, so I prefer to be in water that you can see the bottom, so generally swimming pools for me. I also grew up in the country, so I saw Jaws before I ever saw a beach. So generally when things touch my legs, I run out of the water pretty quickly. But no, look, if the athletes are going to swim in the water, I'd get in as well.
The attack on Donald Trump sort of shows the vulnerability that anyone has when they're in an open space. Have you spoken about that, and have any athletes indicated they don't want to go in the opening ceremony now?
Yeah, it was quite shocking, wasn't it? And like you said, it just reiterates the vulnerability of the world at the moment. But no, we have no athletes have actually come forward and said that they don't want to on those premises. It's all about high performance around the decisions that they have made. And we'll actually have one of the larger contingencies of athletes with 80 at the moment saying that they want to attend the opening ceremony, which will be great.
And for those not in there, which is most of us, what's the vibe like in there now? I know the athletes yet to come. What's the vibe like?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Our operations team has done a wonderful job in setting things up, right from our team services through to our Olympic services, our Woolworths Performance Pantry, our Harvey Norman lounge space, our yarning circles, our recovery spaces, the gym. It's really coming together quite quickly and on schedule as well. So we're looking forward to having everything ready for the time that our first athletes arrive in 2 days' time. A lot of cleaning and preparation, obviously, that has to happen in those couple of days as well. But it's just been a hive of activity and one that everyone's really excited to see the plans that have been on paper come into fruition now. So we have decals all along our windows, so we don't have the clear glass windows. What we have is, like I said, the Uluru image, the Great Barrier Reef image, Team Australia Indigenous art, and the boxing kangaroo. So when that sun comes through as it's setting on the western side, it's really beautiful on the inside to have those light colours change.
And others are taking notice of it, are they?
We have a lot of people coming by and taking photos of the Australian allotment, that's for sure. And we're very proud to see them out there enjoying it.
Some of the previous chefs have bet a bottle of plonk with the ponds that we would beat them.
This is interesting, Julian.
Yes, If you and we've lost those bottles in the last few months. Have you had any wagers with chefs from other countries?
I have not yet had any wagers,
Right.
but I'm willing to back our team in.
Can you just give us an idea, in the village, have you got a whole tower to yourselves? How many floors have you got? Who's around you? What other countries?
Yeah, we spread across 3 buildings, and we share the portion of our 3rd building with our Pacific Nations and Oceania region as well. So Fiji, Samoa, Marshall Islands, and a number of others, and we'll share some services with those as well. We also are around Team Spain, Team Netherlands, and there's quite a few buildings that don't have decorations on that we're still working out who's where. Also close to Team Japan, Team Hungary, and this is a really fun part of the village as you start to work out who's who and what the uniforms look like. And can I just say, I think our uniforms stand out way above any other country as well. So you'll be able to spot the Aussies, that's for sure.
Are you
trading
helping?
anything yet?
Sorry?
Are you trading anything yet?
Trading? No, I'm holding all my pins and all my pieces of clothing close to my chest for the moment.
Are you helping any of the other Pacific nations out with air conditioning and stuff like that? Or?
We've got a number of avenues that we're supporting them, and vice versa, with certain things that they need, certain things that they don't need that we can trade for, essentially. But just being able to support our neighbours is really, really important.
You brought the air conditioning in though, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, we were through the rate card system provided by Paris 2024, and we'll be ensuring that all of those are set up for the athletes with the sealant kits in the window so that they have the option to use it if they so choose. I've been here for 2 days and 2 nights so far, and I haven't used it. I've had the window open, and I've had the pedestal fan going. That's been more than enough, and quite comfortable too.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Great.
First of many.
Yes. Thank you.
Very well done.